Susie, not at your fluent best today, but you got the job done in the end.
Yeah, we did. I'm pleased for the girls because we've worked hard in this cup period with a new group, a young group. So I'm pleased that we got to the win. We didn't manage the game very well, so it could have been a lot easier. But that's life and that's learning. So yeah, pleased we got to the win.
Indeed, 3 driving maul scores last weekend against Gloucester Hartbury. A further 2 this afternoon. That's an aspect of the game that's really going well at the moment, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I guess the getting to that driving maul situation is the bit of the playing. As I said, it is positive because we get into that positions, and we need to make sure that continues. However, everyone's going to be defending that, as Quince did very well on occasion today. So what's plan B and C, and making sure we're not a one-trick pony.
Obviously really damp conditions this afternoon, had a real downpour, obviously about an hour before kick-off, which meant sometimes playing rugby wasn't always the easiest thing, and weren't, as I said, at the fluent best, going through many phases. Was that literally just down to the weather conditions, or is there things you can work on in that particular aspect?
No, we said don't play with the ball. Don't play with the ball in these middle 2/3 because it's too difficult to play. So send the ball down there and make them play. And especially in the first half, we did play with too much ball. But as I said, we managed to find a way to the other end of a success and a win. So that's testament to the girls, but we have to be better at managing games.
And your front row on points again. There's some really good scrums in it, obviously getting the better of the what is a very big Harlequins front row. You must be really proud of their effort.
There's a lot of players within this group, so we've played 4 games now. Players like Lizzie Hanlon at tight head has really come of age, stepping out of university rugby especially, particularly. Abby Middlebrook at loose head, coming out of the college environment into an apprenticeship and then into senior rugby. So there's a few examples of players really coming of age, and that's super pleasing. Alongside other experienced players, Nancy, showed herself in the second half what she's capable of. So yeah, loads of positives coming out, and we don't play again for another 4 or 5 weeks, and then we're into the league, so it's going to be a step up. We have to be a step up.
And you've basically all but guaranteed yourselves a spot in the semi-final in this competition come the new year. I mean, how much of an achievement would it be to retain this trophy, having so emphatically won it last season? Yeah,
I think it would be. To be fair, it's such a long way away. We won't even think about that. We'll think about this first period of the season being finished. As I said, we're now focusing on the league, and when we get to the next bit, which fingers crossed will be a semi-final, we'll focus back on that. But we never think of the end bit, we think of the process and what's on the way, same as when you're on the field. So yeah, as I said, fingers crossed it's a semi, million months away from now. Yeah.
And how much competition for places will this Allianz Cup games actually create within the squad, obviously with the World Cup players returning?
Well, the message has always been make yourself good enough and perform well enough to stay in that shirt, no matter if an international player comes back from across in New Zealand. And as I said, there's a few examples of players doing exactly that. And players not doing that. So, it's going to be interesting. Reintegration, bringing 17 players from across the world who have not just physically, but mentally been in their own international worlds, and it is draining, being in that kind of environment, and then reintegrate into a squad who's found cohesion in whatever way it is. There's challenges ahead, not just for us, for every single team in this league. So it's going to be an interesting time.
And finally, first win of the season in front of this home Sandy Park crowd. How pleased are you to get the victory for this fantastic support this afternoon?
It's brilliant, I thought people might not come because it was absolutely chucking it down. The boys were at home yesterday, but they still come and they still support us. And the girls absolutely love it, and the crowd love them. So, it's all very, very positive.
Thanks, Susie. Well done today.
Cheers.